Everyone has a story to tell. We all know that Toastmasters helps us become better communicators and leaders. If you are uncertain about becoming a Toastmaster right now, this webinar is for you. If you are a Toastmaster uncertain about your future, I have something for you here too. I found my path, and as part of the tradition of Toastmasters helping each other, I want to help you find your path too. Come with me. I've always believed in self-development. I like to think our lives are like roads. The road changed for me. In fact, it became a roller coaster of a road of change. My life went through many twists and turns. I retired, sold my home, got married, and moved to Kelso, Washington. And after moving, I decided to join Toastmasters again and found Encouraging Words Toastmasters. I felt at home there. Then I learned about the program change. I asked, can I order manuals? And if you were there, you know as a Toastmaster, the answer was no. No, you can't go back. If you have been in Toastmasters or returned as I did, you may be going through the same emotions I felt when confronted with change. Maybe you feel alone, angry, and afraid that everything you've worked for and achieved in life is now lost. My road turned dark, foggy, and I could not look ahead. I seriously considered quitting Toastmasters. Maybe you managed to come out of the woods and keep moving forward. I did. And then everything seemed to get worse. I couldn't understand pathways. It may seem like you are alone on an impossible uphill path, holding on desperately. You may feel as though you have gone as far as you can. With all the changes in our world and our culture right now, you may have turned to your club for support. And then you've noticed that some people are not coming to Zoom or online meetings. Perhaps the people who left or no longer coming to meetings were the ones you really liked. You miss them, and it can seem as though your shrinking club is struggling up the mountain exhausted. You may be afraid of what comes next. Maybe you don't like online meetings. You don't like social distancing. You need human contact. When you first joined Toastmasters, you would have never believed this moment would come. Admit it. If you're a Toastmaster, you've come to love standing in front of the room, giving presentations and leading table topics. You miss it. You wish the world would return to normal. And you know it won't. Not for a while. You don't know what to do next. And if you've considered just letting go, just falling off, please don't. Please don't go yet. Please look again. I want to show you Toastmasters has changed, and the change has been for the better. There's now something for everyone. You do know that you have to ask for help. You do know how to look and find your unique path. This is not like taking an online course. You still need your Toastmasters Club to have meaningful practice of skills and competencies and share. Whether you are new or ready to renew your commitment to personal development, please look again. I want to show you where to look. I can tell you what the problem was, is now, and always will be until you reach out and ask for help. You may not be working under the old Toastmaster system, but if you're struggling, your thinking is still there. The first step is to realize that Toastmasters has always been a self-help organization, organized around a network of people who help each other develop and reach personal goals. I speak from personal experience. For years, I've brought my manuals to meetings, handed them to an evaluator, and then took them back after the meeting, went home and thought I was done. I thought I was reaching my potential, but I wasn't. Toastmasters is now in District 7, building onto that network of what existed. They are adding a new position called the Vice President of Pathways. This is unofficial, but it is a real coach for your club who will help you move from where you are and go to where you want to be. This is wonderful. It's revolutionary. I can tell you that when I heard this and I looked at Pathways again, that I realized this is what will make the difference. If you've always been a rugged individualist like me, it may be difficult to change and ask for help. If you reflect back on your life, you will find that change and growth has always been a process. It's been gradual, not just one event. My process started when I heard a new Toastmaster enthusiastically talk about Pathways. She said it was the easiest and most supportive system she had ever experienced. What world is she in? I wondered. And then I realized she was approaching Pathways with a beginner's mind. She had no preconception, no baggage. She was ready. The program was there, and she simply did it. This is part of being human. When you start in your mind and you tell yourself, this is it, I'm ready, something magical happens. Like a butterfly, you get out of the cocoon, spread your wings, ready to take off. You begin the change in your mind, and then the plan comes into focus. If you have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy, do this for yourself. Set up the beginner's mind. On that piece of paper, go to the left top corner of the page, find a comfortable spot, and draw a line down. On the left side of that line is what you will soon leave behind. And on the right side are all the possibilities. There's a wonderful blank spot for you to write your plan and create your future. Do you remember being on the beach, listening to the crash of the waves and reflecting on your life, wishing that you could just draw a line in the sand, step over, and have your life begin anew? That's what we're doing right now. When you draw the line, there's really no going back. You can look over and see what you left behind. That's natural. But this time, you've deliberately made the mark and you are now in the beginner's mind territory. Now that you are ready, let's work on that blank side of the page, the right-hand side. It won't be anything fancy. It will be 2 lists. At the top, you'll start your first list. This is what you want for yourself. What potential do you know or feel is ready to be expressed, brought out in the world? List as many things as you want. Maybe you want to be, like I did, a better communicator. Maybe you want to listen. Maybe you want to support. Maybe what you really want is to manage your time and make your life better in some way. List as many as you want. And when you stop writing, when you feel comfortable that you've got a good list, you will begin to look for a theme or themes. This is where your life begins to change. What I did from drawing that line in the sand to now, I will show you what I did and where I dug. When I looked at my written list at the top right of the page, I saw what I wanted. I realized that what I wanted was actually a better me. And that is when I began thinking of my life as a beginner. This was my beginning, my opportunity to see and experience the beauty of the pathway system. It's all about the possibilities. I saw three things emerge as a pattern. You may have written something different on your page, and that's all right. I'm just sharing what I did. You can see that what I wrote for myself was find my unique leadership style. I wanted to become a better communicator, and I wanted to build better relationships. When I started thinking about leadership style, somehow I thought about a bird flying. Once it gets off the ground, it flies strong and sure. A bird has no fear of falling or failing. It learns and flies as naturally as you and I walk forward. Every path begins in a familiar way with an icebreaker. You know what that is. And self-assessment, reflection. I found that built into every path were sections designed to help me understand my style. When you begin to appreciate how unique you are, you begin to see other people's uniqueness and you understand the need to customize your path. This was not possible under the old system. There are now about 300 ways to customize your own path and make it uniquely yours. Your perspective is yours. Your path is yours. Other people have other paths, and yet you are all together for the same reason, and that is self-development and self-growth. Pick any path and start building better relationships. It becomes automatic. Each path is built upon the same core skills of listening and providing feedback. We know about that. Being in Toastmasters is a lot like skydiving. We need to hold on to each other as we take off. When we let go and we are on our own journey, we feel the exhilaration. We know that when we land, we'll get the evaluation that we need and the support we need. We do this every meeting. Your fellow Toastmasters are with you, whether you are soaring solo or you are there one-on-one with your coach, your mentor. You are building better relationships automatically. You will become a better communicator, even with social distancing. As your ear becomes tuned into the nuance of voices over the telephone and during online meetings, you will find yourself listening more carefully. This has been extremely important for me to learn. Before I plunged forward, not checking with others. Now I know that listening and understanding, reacting, providing feedback, engaging with others is the way to better communication. Remember the piece of paper? You drew a line and you have a list of what you want for yourself in the upper right. And in the middle, on the right-hand side, you have the theme of your life. Now it's time to take that pen, pencil, and make a list in the lower left corner of the paper. This is a list of the people who will support you on your journey. This is the person who will hold out a hand and lift you up. You know that you will connect with them. They're probably already in your club. You know what method they enjoy or like. You can email them. You can send them a text message. You can connect with them through a phone call or even after a meeting. You want to be honest about where you are so they can find the way to help you. Be clear. Don't say, hey, I want you to help me, but I don't know what I want. But hey, help me anyway. That doesn't do anyone any good. It certainly doesn't do you good. You need to be specific. If you are someone who is struggling to find a path, be honest, tell them. If you are someone who can't manage to get beyond level 3 of your current project, let them know. And if you are the person who needs to narrow down ideas for a high performance leadership project, tell your supporter. That was me. When I found I was specific and I focused on what I needed, asking for help became very clear. They knew what they needed to do when I told them what I needed. You don't need to be alone, lost, ready to fall. Going through pathways alone will get you lost in the wilderness. Trust me, I know. Knowing what you want and asking for help is the most difficult part of the process. If you can get beyond that, you will find your mentor, your coach, your buddy, and you will find that helping you is as essential for them in their path too. You will go twice as far in half the time, even if you are both in the dark. Finding a pathway buddy is finding someone who celebrates and shares the small victories with you. How do you know if you have the right pathway buddy, coach, or mentor? You will have the feeling of being energized, victorious. You will understand the give and take of the relationship. On your Toastmaster journey, you will meet many people, and not all of them are right for you. Or maybe they were right at the time, but you're not right for each other now. And that's okay. If you feel the discomfort, they are probably feeling it too. And when you're honest with each other, saying, hey, I need some help, and John will help me now, or hey, I found that Bruce is having the right thing that I need right now, they will understand and be relieved. You grow together or you grow apart. That's the natural part of the growth process. Here's another idea. If the vice president of pathways hasn't been identified or trained yet, there's likely somebody in your club who has chosen the coaching path. That was me. Remember that coaches need to find people to coach. They want to listen. They want to find you resources and give you a boost when you need it. Or else they wouldn't have chosen the coaching pathway. It's all process, one move at a time. Somebody has already been there on the climbing wall. They've already marked the sweet spot you need. They made a mark on the wall showing you where to grab next. They know, and they have already marked it and will give you the tips that you need. Don't sit back quietly frustrated, expecting people to ask you what's wrong or why you haven't been joining meetings or participating. Most people want to be considerate and respect your need for privacy. By now, you know Toastmasters are the most considerate people you will ever find. So don't send out vibes. Send messages in a bottle. It's not productive. What is productive is to start the conversation now with your VP of Education, your Vice President of Pathways, a coach, or even your Pathways buddy. I have another important resource to share with you. You can start a conversation with the new division Pathways proponent, or even with Dr. Gwen Avington, the District 7 leader who is helping make this network of help available to you. You must take action. If you are alone, you need to find your place in the network of people who are part of Toastmasters. Plug in any way that you can just to get started. Become a part of the amazing community of the most helpful people I have ever met. District 7 has taken action and the plan is already in motion. Dr. Gwendolyn Avington is listed as the resource on the final slide. You can send her an email and ask for resources and names. Once you try it and experience it, meeting online can be surprisingly satisfying. Give people a chance to help you. Give people a chance to reach you and keep you and help you into the network. There are 11 paths to choose from and 300 ways to build your unique brand of competency. No matter what path you choose, they are all parallel and they all lead to your success. You can realize your goals with pathways, from dynamic leadership to visionary communication. You can find a path and the way to customize your journey. Let's start your journey in pathways together. Here are my final thoughts and recommendations. Pathways is renewed Toastmasters. District 7 is rolling out an exciting coaching program for everyone. The Toastmasters who are in District 7 are reaching out to help you. Coaches on their path are out there ready to coach you. You don't need to do this alone. Find somebody, your Vice President of Education, the new Pathways proponent, the new Pathways Vice President. These are all options for you. When you go to Basecamp, take somebody with you. They'll show you where to click and where you go next. The first step is just reach out and find somebody. And then the path will open to you. Here is my contact information and the email address for Dr. Gwen Avington. I am the pathway proponent for Division G. There are other people out there just like me, ready to help. If you reach out, we will be there to help you with the resources, encouragement, and the real help that you need. Just reach out your hand and we will be there.